So that shows you how aggressive people are. You can fall. Sometimes you can fall so deep you don't know what to do. But it is not reason enough for you to stay there. You are only a failure when you do not rise from where you've fallen. Yeah, things happen. People can come and steal your things. You can fall sick and lose all your capital, and business goes down, or whatever it is that you are doing. Even if you're in formal employment, sometimes you can get retrenched. Most of the time, you find that the roads in these areas are very rough, and some of them are washed off. So now, let me just say it was a difficult time, and it was a difficult transition. And I was actually on the verge of giving up. I almost said, no, I cannot do this. Yeah. So now I told myself, maybe there's a reason. Maybe I'll bloom through this. And I resolved to take the bull by the horns. It was actually a very long transition that sometimes gets me emotional. Welcome back to the channel. And so now today, I decided to come back into the field where it all started. What inspired me to start this YouTube channel is actually the kind of work that I used to do. And this one today is just to encourage you in any sphere that you are in right now. There's a favorite quote of mine that I usually love to refer to. It says, wherever you are planted, bloom. And that is my mantra. That is one of the mantras that I use in my life. And it keeps me going every day, especially when, time sometimes can be very challenging and hard. So now, I just want to do a quick introduction to this video. With regards to how I started this channel and when I started it. I used to work in areas like this. You'll see quite a lot of this today. I used to work, and it was the first time I was actually being appointed on a motorcycle in my official 8 to 5 now. So the work entails that I have to ride the motorcycle into different places in the field. The description, I'll not get so much into it, but basically it was just field work using the motorcycle. So now, I'd never been on a motorcycle before, except for a few occasions where I would actually deliver a gas from my shop to the customers, and that was basically within town. So now this was a totally different experience, and now I had to embrace it, and I had very little options, so I had to take the job. And initially it was very challenging because number one, you have to find locations you've never been to before. Number two, the terrain. Number three, the weather. If you look at the kind of weather in this area, I'll just show you the nature in a short while after I'm done introducing this video. Usually, most of the time it rains. And the road that I'm standing on is just one of the few roads that are actually fair enough. Most of the time, you find that the roads in these areas are very rough, and some of them are washed off. So now, let me just say it was a difficult time, and it was a difficult transition. And I was actually on the verge of giving up. I almost said, no, I cannot do this. But then one evening I sat down and I asked myself, why would God plant me in such a challenging situation? And He knows exactly what kind of a situation I'm in right now. I have a family, I have children, yeah? So now I told myself, maybe there's a reason. Maybe I'll bloom through this. And I resolved to take the bull by the horns. It was actually a very long transition that sometimes gets me emotional. But I thank God that it is through this that I was able to even start this YouTube channel, because I wanted to encourage people. Sometimes you find yourself in deep-seated ends. You do not know if you can rise out of that hole. But trust you me, there is always a reason why you are planted where you are. Just take time and find the reason why. So like in my case, I realized I'm someone who loves nature. And given that sometimes you'll want to locate these destinations that you are assigned, and it was not a very straightforward thing. So now you had to get lost here and there. Then in my process of getting lost, I will get into homes and even premises, and I will get baffled. My mind will be blown away by the kind of things that people do. And sometimes it will cheer me up so much. And I realized I found joy in that. And then now it helped me gain some resilience over the kind of work that I needed to do. So now I focused on this positive, and this is what gave birth to this YouTube channel. And so now, with that very long introduction, I'd want to take you to some of the homes that I actually went into and got lost. They were not the target homes. And in my getting lost, I realized that people were doing a lot of things in their capacity out here. And so there's this one home that I'm going to take you today, and you'll get to see what this couple do as a source of living. Yeah, so that if you find any encouragement in that, then that is my joy. So come with me. A very long introduction, but I'm grateful for your support. You know, by merely watching these videos, it actually boosts me in many ways than you can imagine. And so now it keeps me going, and I do this for you. So you're welcome. So I've been walking for the past maybe 15 minutes now, and I decided to walk. I did not take my motorcycle, and I did not get onto a paid motorcycle because I just wanted to walk. And you see now we have what we call in Kiswahili njia panda. I'm not sure if this is njia panda, but it's a junction. So we take this left turn. And basically there's very few people in the vicinity. Most homes are actually locked. I believe in such time of the year people are in the shamba because the rains are back and people have been planting maize and beans. Some are even weeding. So that explains why most homes look like they are locked. And a few children from school are walking on the road. You can see there quite a number there, but basically it's just me and you. So let's get on with this. So like I was telling you, when you find yourself in deep problems, you don't focus on your problem. Try to find anything that can make your day bright. For me, it used to be anything very random, even wildflowers like these ones. You know, this kind of plant. People use this plant to feed their sick chicken. When you have poultry and you do not want to use conventional methods of treating them, you use this kind of leaves. You just smash them up and then you mix with water. So now, me, I wouldn't care if this was medicine for chicken. I will just admire this flower and say, if God can create such a beautiful wildflower, then he cares for me. And that, most of the time, made my day. And even something very random like the Lantana camara. You remember, if you did agriculture in secondary school, you know this plant. In Kiswahili, it has a very horrid name. I cannot dare mention it here. But in scientific name is Lantana camara. This one here. See, it's beautiful. See, there is a bit of pink, red and yellow. Like, you know, God is a florist or a flower technician. How can he create something so beautiful? Well, I'm just trying to say, find something to hang on. Because if you focus on your problems, my friend, hey. Okay, we'll continue with the journey. There's a lorry here. Those people are smiling at me. And I don't know them, so I don't want to focus on them. They can even kidnap me and put me behind the lorry. No one will notice, given that I can't even scream. Okay, so we're almost there. I hope I remember the way. It could be that way or this way. I cannot remember, but I want to try. Yeah. Another wildflower here. Looks like the morning glory, but I don't know the name. It's a common plant. Something I've discovered about these wild plants, they have very beautiful and unique flowers, you know. See now something like this. It's so beautiful. It's not smelling like a rose, definitely, but it's beautiful to the eye. Allow me to show you the aloe vera plant, which is a very common plant in this area. Look at it. Huh? And recently, while I was in Nairobi, I saw someone had planted this, had put this plant in a pot, and it was looking so lovely. I'm telling you, it depends on how you look at something. Now look at this one here, is just hidden somewhere in a shrub, and the beauty is now swallowed up. You may not even realize, but then if you look at it closely, it's a very beautiful plant, and it thrives in its natural habitat. I was surprised someone had put it in a pot. And then the very funny thing about this plant is that it flowers, and it has very beautiful orange flowers. If I come across one, I'll show you. So now we continue with our journey. We are almost there. This is the final stretch. Yeah. A lot of vegetation on the side. Looks like it rained maybe yesterday night or the night before that one. Some beautiful birds. There is a, I don't know, I cannot remember my science very well, but there's a bird over there with very beautiful sleek feathers and a very long beak. I'm not sure. Yeah. Then there is this sisal plant over there. People in this area used to plant a lot of sisal in the past. I remember growing up, when we visited our our paternal home with my parents, I used to see a lot of sisal on the sides of the road. Nowadays, I don't know what's happening. It used to be one of the major cash crops in this area. Nowadays, I don't know what to say. So now, what is happening is that this home behind me, I don't know if you can see the iron sheets behind me. That is the home that I was getting into. And by bad luck, the couple that I was coming to look for are not in. According to one of the neighbors that I've talked to, they moved out of this area in search of greener pastures, where they're now doing their hustle. But I don't know exactly where they are or how I can find them, because I do not even have their contacts. So I think at this point I'll just narrate to you what they used to do. And it was an inspiration for me, because basically it was a very young couple. They had, I think, maybe 2 children. That is their home. Of course, I cannot record in there because of number one, I do not have consent. It will look like I'm trespassing. So that is the home. And I'll just look for a shade somewhere so that I can give you a brief of what they used to do. So now this couple was an encouragement to me, because number one, they were very young. So now I'll just sit here and give you their story. It was a young couple, very young, way younger than myself. And you see, right beside their house, the husband had constructed a mud oven that they were using to bake assorted products like scones, cakes, all those things you can think of, buns. So now the oven was made out of mud and bricks and a bit of iron sheet on top. And then they used to do this every morning. So now when they wake up, the lady does the mixing and then puts into the fire. Remember, she has a small kid, yeah, a breastfeeding one. And then once they are ready, the husband takes them, puts them in crates and starts supplying them to shops and homes and any other potential customer. So initially when I asked how they used to do it and why they are doing this thing in the middle of nowhere here, you know, it's a very deep seated area, and they told me they used to do it from an urban setup, but then things happened and thieves broke into their home one day and stole most of their things. So now he got destabilized financially, and then he could not continue with his trade because now he had lost quite some. And so by that time he was delivering the products using his motorcycle, and then the motorcycle was on loan. So you know, there are these organizations that usually give you motorcycles on loan. Then now you pay a certain amount of money every week or every day. So he could not service the loan for a number of days. I cannot remember the exact period, but it ended up, unfortunately, that the company retrieved the motorcycle. So now the business basically just collapsed, and then they had to relocate back home. So when they came here, he had formal training on baking lessons. So he came and constructed the matope nini, the mud oven, right next to their house, and that is where the hustle picked. And I'm glad that somehow I'm not disappointed that I've not found them here. I'm actually happy I've not found them here, because it means that something is working out in their favor. Because if I found them here, I think I would be worried. So that shows you how aggressive people are. You can fall. Sometimes you can fall so deep you don't know what to do. But it is not reason enough for you to stay there. You are only a failure when you do not rise from where you've fallen. Yeah, things happen. People can come and steal your things. You can fall sick and lose all your capital, and you know, business goes down, or whatever it is that you are doing. Even if you're in formal employment, sometimes you can get retrenched. Bad things can happen. But this video basically is to encourage you to pick yourself up, stay focused and keep moving. As long as you do not stop moving, then you are making progress. You do not stop. Either you are crawling or you are, whatever it is you are doing, as long as you are moving forward, then that is all that matters. And now I have to walk back. This is technically how this video is meant to be. My idea of trying to come back here, aside from that, just encouraging you, and of course I wanted to showcase what the couple used to do, but I have not found them. And number two was also to contact the guy. I wanted to talk to the guy if he can make for me such a mud oven in my home. So unfortunately I've not found them. I do not want to use any other options that are there, because if you want to do this thing, they were doing it commercially. They were producing lots and lots of baked products, and whatever they were using was very simple, like the kind of pans and what are they called? Those baking tins that I saw them with were the ones from Juakali. They are not the very refined forms that you get from shops and what have you. So I liked the idea because it was very non-capital intensive. And I was actually thinking of constructing one in my home, but now I've not found him. I'll not give up. I'll try using whichever means to locate them. Yeah. And thank you for watching. I hope this encourages you one way or the other. If you like this kind of content, it is not the conventional type of content that I put up on this channel, but if you like anything, you can consider giving me a thumbs up. You see that thumbs up sign on the bottom? It is sort of blue or black. Is it? I think it is black in color. Just tap on it. That means you like this video. or this content. And then if you've not subscribed to this platform, please do. There's also another red and white button somewhere down there. You can just tap on it and it means you've subscribed to this platform. It does not cost you anything. It is free and it supports my mission. And then finally, you can share so that more people can get to see the channel. So I'm grateful for your viewership. Till the next one, it is bye for now. We head that way, back to civilization.